Why photography for me? It's a kind of freedom. It's a freedom of experience and expression. Yeah, it makes you feel inside the world and outside of it at the same time. But prior to making the maze, I was kind of giving up photography because I found it such a difficult medium. In terms of representation, in terms of just pointing the camera at anything, it was such a loaded thing to do. And I was becoming more and more aware of that and really scared of it. I knew very little about the maze space, the prison space itself, before I first went into it. And if anything, actually, I probably had very stereotypical ideas of a prison, you know, and it was cliched ideas of bars and cells, which actually made me not really want to go there. It seemed too cliched. But it was after the first visit when I realised that the use of space and expanse and repetition and the fact that it was only single story, no steps, over a 360-acre space, and that sense of, you know, oppression and power, then I got a real sense of, well, my preconceptions were completely destroyed. Growing up in Northern Ireland shaped who I was, shaped the desire for me to take pictures, shaped the desire for me to separate, shaped the desire for me to get away. And here I could look at the thing that kind of made me the thing, if that makes sense. I'm from a mixed background, Catholic and Protestant, and so I didn't know where to position myself in this historical site. In fact, the first pictures were taken on a 5x4 camera that I bought when I was 13 in a bomb-damaged seal. And I know the people who blew that shop up would have been in that prison. Photographing the maze certainly made me very aware and very interested in military architecture. It is completely designed to do a job, which is functional and brutal. I began to understand the psychology of that type of architecture and have gone since to look at it and how it's been replicated in many other places, whether in Iraq, Afghanistan, Guantanamo, which is essentially a souped up, more efficient, but exactly the same version of maze. Scrapbook, in many ways, doesn't relate to the maze, but it's part of the experience I've went through over the past 10 odd years. I found a scrapbook in my great uncle's drawer just before he died, about 12 years ago. And in it, he had cuttings. And that laid the beginning for me of an idea of collecting an experience. And then over the years, I just collected material from people, prisoners I met, soldiers I met. And I didn't really do it for a book, I just did it for myself. If there's anything that relates maybe to a truism, it's the character, the sense of character that comes out of the scrapbook. And that's very much the sense of Northern Irish character. You know, it's got black humour in it. It's got, it's serious and yet it's tragic. It's a whole amalgamation of things that really don't make any sense. The maze was for me really a way of finding my voice in terms of photography and taking me further with photography and making me understand its limitations completely, but sort of recognizing its limitations and then working with it. And at that point, yeah, photography is interesting. It's very interesting.